Welcome to the show, everyone. I love this show, and I love the show because of all the great information that people get from listening to it. And I thank you for the listeners that have been listening to me for so long. We're live on Facebook, so I do want to say hi to everybody out there. And that's what's also cool about this show, is that not only can you hear us on the radio, but we're actually live on Facebook, so you can go there and put Networking Arizona and watch us in here doing the show live. It's a lot of fun to do. My guest that is on today, I have her, is going to be very helpful to many people out there. But I'm going to talk about her first. I have with me Karen Rossner, and she's the owner of KMR Medical Debt Solutions. And this little lady is a spitfire of a woman. And when I say little, she is little.
Yes, I am.
But she's so big in so many ways. Karen, first of all, welcome back to the show. You've been on many times.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And I love what you do, because there's so many people that do have medical debt. And I want them first to hear a little bit about you and why no is never in your vocabulary, okay?
Okay.
So first do that.
All right. Well, thank you for having me, Carol, and hello, everyone. I'm Karen with KMR Medical Debt Solutions. And a little bit of background, I'm from Massachusetts, or right now the coal country, I call it. And I have 6 older brothers and a younger sister. I was born with a very serious heart condition, and I went through several surgeries and various things like that. I had a transplant 19 years ago, and after my transplant I got in debt, medical debt, and I'm just like, okay, $50,000, what do I do? I'm on Social Security at the time, and I'm only making $1,500 a month, so, and my rent was about $1,000 a month at the time, so I'm a social worker also. I've been a social worker for the last 39 years. So I had the resources, or I knew of the resources. And so I used my resources, and I had a friend help me with the resources because I was still taking some pain medicine because of the transplant. So she helped me fill out the applications and everything. And I got myself out of $50,000 of debt with resources that I knew of. And I've helped a lot of people as a social worker, so I'm like, let me do this as a business, because it was satisfying to get out of medical debt, and when I get people out of medical debt, it's satisfying to me and to them. So I've been in business as a business for about 4 years now.
Yes.
And about 4 years, and I've helped so many people in that. And this year alone, I have saved people about $85,000 in medical debt.
That's amazing. Now listen up, everyone. There's a lot of people, out there that have medical debt, and you don't realize that even though it may not, I don't know if it goes on your credit score at all.
After a while, it will if you don't pay.
Okay, so you see, that follows you. And, medical debt is the worst debt that most people have, right? Because, you get a surgery and you have your deductible. A lot of people have catastrophic insurance, so their deductible's really high. So how are they going to pay it? It's just, and they think they're going to pay it off. Well, it's hard to pay it off, especially with the finance charges, if they're already, or what have you. But what I want to say is this. With your background, being that you are a social worker, what's great about her, and I've heard a lot of your stories of that you can call, you can get on that phone, you know what to look for, you know who to call, you know who to talk to, and you also know all the lingo, because when it comes to medicine, there's a ton of lingo that you don't understand, and sometimes it's something that is a mistake that you'll find quite often.
And it's a mistake, or they didn't do a code right, or they didn't have insurance. I remember I had a client, $32,000 of bill from the imaging portion of his transplant. He had a transplant, and his wife showed me a bill, and she goes, Karen, can you, I have a $32,000 medical bill for him, and I don't understand why. And I was like, well, do you want me to look at it? And she goes, sure. So I looked at it, and I'm like, you mind if I make a couple of phone calls? And she goes, no. So I made a couple of phone calls, and I called the company, and I told them I had the power of attorney, a limited power of attorney, so I could talk about the bill. And and she's like, all right. And he goes, well, the bill's now $33,000. And I was like, why is it $33,000? And they're like, well, he doesn't have insurance. I'm like, yeah, he does. And they're like, well, we don't have it. I was like, he's not going to get a transplant, any hospital here in Arizona or across the country if he didn't have insurance, because they're not going to give the transplant. It's like, see you later with a $500,000, $1 million medical bill. So when I gave him the insurance, his bill of $33,000 went down to $250.
I thought that she probably was very thankful.
I never got a hug like that before.
Yeah,
I
bet.
I can't breathe.
That's so awesome. Now let me give out your information. So her phone number is 808-253-1157. Her website is yourdebtfreequickly.com. And I want to talk about this because you're reducing, you're not promising that, but you
No.
can reduce, you've reduced so many people's debt.
I have.
And, you know, I think the best thing is when people call you, you'll have a conversation with them, right? It's a consultation, a free consultation. And what is the first steps that they need to do? They have to give you everything, and they have to be upfront.
Yes.
You know, don't
Yes.
worry about anything, because we've all been in your shoes.
Oh, yes. And well, what I do is we talk about where they are at and what kind of bills they have. Medical, is it a hospital, is it providers, is it medications, or is it, past bills, whatever they may have. And I'm like, all right. And I was like, I could do this, this, and this. And I let them know what I can do. But I don't do anything, and I cannot do anything until they sign a release of information and a limited power of attorney with me.
Okay.
And like I said, a limited power of attorney is just for the medical bills. I'm not making decisions about their health. I'm not making decisions about their finances or anything. It's just to let them know that I could talk to the insurance company. I could talk to the provider about this bill. And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's why it's a limited power of attorney.
And it's something that you have to do in order
Yes.
for them, obviously, to talk to the people about the bills. Now, a lot of people out there have medical debt, and it doesn't matter how much or how little.
Nope.
You can reduce their bills, and you've done it millions of times with people.
And I even got somebody out of collections, because he was here in Arizona. He had a bill a few hours from us, and I talked to the company, and I talked to him, and I saw that they had a resource and assistance program. We did the assistance program, and he calls me back and goes, Karen, they're not accepting it because my bills are too old. I'm like, okay, no problem. So I took his bills, I took the power of attorney release, and their application, send an email to the president of the hospital. 2 days later, I got a call from my client. They took my bills out of collections, and they're letting me get the assistance. And he got 75% discount on his medical bills.
So you see, she doesn't let no get in her way in any way. Now, her phone number to call, it's 808-253-1157. She does free consultations. You can check her out on her website. It is yourdebtfreequickly.com. Hang tight. We're going to be back in just a minute.
Thank you.
Now, do you want to continue just
Sure.
on this? okay?
No, we could go into different, well,
No,
medical debt.
medical debt I
Yeah,
meant, but
yeah.
do you want to talk about your book or just?
Just the medical
Just the
debt.
okay, then I'll
Yeah.
put this over here.
Yeah, just the medical debt. Because I found out just the other day, it was interesting. I had a client and she called me and she goes, my doctor's saying that I have Medicare. And she goes, I never had Medicare. And they gave her a number to call and we called it. And lo and behold, she has Medicare disability. And she's had it since 2012.
Wow.
But what had happened was she got all these papers in the mail and everything, and she was battling cancer, breast cancer. And she didn't know and she was just tossing them aside. And
Oh my God.
she didn't know what they were about. And when she got her cards and everything, she just tossed them and everything. So I helped her on that, and I'm like, okay. So I learned something different, new about it, and I helped her get the Medicare, and she's got the Medicare, and they're sending her a Medicare card, and now she'll have Medicare as a primary. Medicare will be primary, and her insurance that she's been paying for over the last few years is her secondary because she doesn't work anymore. So whenever you work, your insurance from your employer is primary, and then Medicare will be secondary. When you stop working, Medicare is primary, and the other retirement insurance is secondary. So they
Well, I had that happen to me because I don't well, I don't even know how it happened, but for a while there, I was on Access. You know, when I first started everything or whatever.
Yep.
And when Medicare came around, I just started paying it because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. And I got a letter saying that Social Security paying for my Medicare. It's like, and I'm paying $500. Like, I had to pay it 3 months in advance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so I was paying it. I had, put the money aside each month for ready for it.
Yep.
And then I got a letter that they were paying it. So I got some money back from Medicare. And I have both this as well.
Right,
you know. But it's sort of strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why. And I've put in all my information to them, and oh, here we are. So welcome back, everyone. We're talking with Karen Rossner. We're talking about medical debt. Are you in medical debt? Do you know anybody that's in medical debt? There's a lot of people that are. And she can help you reduce your debt, and she has done it quite a bit. I know that you've been here for, now a couple of years, I think it is, coming on the show and talking about debt in general, and you've kind of focused it down to medical because so many people have it.
Right.
And you yourself help people, being that you are a social worker, you're already helping people, and they have a lot of medical debt.
Some of them do, yes.
Yeah, and I think the biggest problem that happened is when they created catastrophic insurance, right? Because once that happened, everybody wants to have a lower payment on their insurance. So what they do is they have like a high deductible, right? And they never know when something's gonna happen, and God forbid, and you hit that, you're in the hospital one day. It's like, I don't know, $12,000 or more,
Right.
It's crazy. And you can hit your, it's great, you hit that, but you gotta pay it.
Right. Well, when I had my transplant, I was on Social Security, like I said, and I had Medicare. And I had an Advantage plan because I needed the medicine and all this stuff. I got out of the hospital with my transplant on May 5th, 2006. Got my medicine, the whole 9 yards. May 6th, I went into that gap, the Medicare gap, the donut hole.
Yeah, that donut hole.
And I'm like, oh my goodness. So I got assistance with my medications because my medications were very expensive. But I was able to get assistance with that because I had very limited income, and I had my son at home at the time. So I was getting assistance. But it's so funny because people don't know about the gap, and I know they're trying to get rid of the gap now, which is good. But when you go into that gap, it's crazy because you have to pay 100% of your bill.
And people don't know that.
No, and then afterwards you get to that catastrophic area, and then once you get to catastrophic, then you're at 5%. You only have to pay 5%. But some people don't get to that catastrophic area.
And you owe that money. That's
Yes.
something that you owe. And it doesn't go away.
Excuse me.
Yeah, do you need some water?
No, I'm good. I just breathe wrong.
But here's the thing though, when you have debt, medical debt can be very weighing on any debt.
Oh, yes,
obviously, right?
yes.
But when it comes to medical, because it's just so expensive, and when you come in, they will have to obviously sign a
Limited power of attorney and
Limited-
release of information.
So that's something that you have to do just because that's what gives her the opportunity to talk to
Right.
all the insurance companies for you and talk about your bill and what have you, the providers, the hospitals, all of that. But I wanted you to also talk about how long you have been a social worker. So you're not just a social worker,
No.
because you were born a social worker.
I probably was. I've been a social worker for about 38, 39 years now.
Yeah.
And it's counting, so I have to think of my son's age and add 3 years, so.
So you've been doing it for a really long time.
Yes.
Helping people, mostly transplants. I know that right now you've been working a lot with them.
I have worked with transplants. That's my soft spot because of my transplant. And there's resources out there. There's resources for people with their medications, with getting assistance, and even people that have cancer. There's a lot of resources out there.
Wouldn't you
And then
like to know what those resources are? Now, the thing is that the only person that knows it right now is you.
Right.
Because you can't do that. You can't find that thing and think, oh, I can Google that. I don't think
No.
so.
And there's always new resources, and I have connections, and and that helps me out. And with social work, you have other social workers. You can get information from them too.
So how fast, when you do, obviously it takes time, you have to do things, but you've had things where you called the president of the hospital or emailed them, and within days, that debt is eliminated or reduced to
Yeah,
From
hours.
Can you imagine?
But it's a lot of phone calls and back and forth.
You do the work.
I do the work. I had a client that had a medical ambulance ride. I've told you before, an ambulance, and 2 ambulance rides that equaled about $6,300. And I called the ambulance company. They didn't want to do anything because she was a VA veteran, and they didn't want to do anything because the VA had the claim in. So they didn't want to do anything until the VA decides what they're going to do. So that's all fine and dandy. And then we found out that the VA was not paying it because she was only 64% disabled, not 100%. So I called the company again, and they're like, yep, I remember you called a couple of months ago. All right. She's like, I'll call you in a couple hours. And I'm like, yeah, I heard that before. And actually, in a couple hours, she did call me back. I was surprised. So that she actually called me back. And what they did is they reduced they wrote off one of the bills and they reduced it down to Med-Cal, Medicaid California. They reduced that, and so her $6,300 bill went down to $140.71.
Her phone number is 808-253-1157. Her website is yourdebtfreequickly.com. And if we're talking about medical debt, and a lot of people have it, you can, from the time you've got children that probably have it, even,
Oh, yes.
right?
Yes, I work with anybody, but the thing that I wanna mention now and after the break too is Medicare, and it's open enrollment right now.
Okay, so how do you help people with that in this season right now?
Well, I refer them to people that can sell the Medicare, do the Medicare applications and get the plans. But what I wanna tell you is, like you and I were talking over the break, is that I had a client that she didn't know she had Medicare. And we called, and lo and behold, she's had Medicare since 2012 that she didn't even know about, because she just had a lot of paperwork. She was dealing with her health issues, and she threw it away or discarded. So the thing is, it's an open enrollment right now, and you don't want to throw anything away of any of your mail. Open it and look at it. So look at your mail.
Because you know why? A lot of people that you get in the mail, a lot of people don't even want to deal with it. Or they're too busy, so they put it to the side. And what happens, they think that it's spam or what have you.
Right.
And there might be, and there is a lot of that, but you gotta be careful. But you do need to know what's real, and that's
Yes.
another place where you can help too.
Yes.
Because, can you imagine having had Medicare for as long as 2012, and the only reason why she didn't know was because she threw away the information.
Yeah, she threw it away or what, and it was because she was dealing with her issues and her health issues, and I'll deal with it later.
How many people can relate to that?
I know, they're focusing on their health issues and not their mail.
Right.
So and when we called, we got her set up, and we got her the Medicare D program. She had the Medicare D program, and she has Medicare A. She is not going on Medicare B because she has the insurance from her employer that
But now she's double insured, so that's awesome.
Yeah, so she's gonna have a lot less bills.
And the bills that she does have, Karen takes care of them so that she can reduce those debt.
Yes, I do.
Now, we're gonna go to a break. When we come back, we're gonna talk further. There isn't anyone that doesn't know somebody, or you yourself,
Yes.
that is in some form of debt. Medical debt is weighing on so many people, and it doesn't have to. She can help you reduce your debt. Call her at 808-253-1157. It's your debt-free-quickly.com. So now it's just a little longer break, just because it's the bottom of the hour. So we have a little bit
Yeah.
longer break. Yeah.
My earring was going into my, there we go.
I like that.
Thank you. It was going into my
I
neck.
have yet. Oh,
I was like, yeah.
I can't wear earrings when I do this.
Oh, yeah.
I stopped wearing them so many years now, 18 years, because
Wow.
I'm on there. Well, because I have those on every day. It's easier just not to wear them than to, I gotta take them out. But now my holes are closing.
Oh, so
I'm gonna have to get.
that's going on with the medical debt, and I just want to make sure that everybody knows it.
One bill at a time. That was your tagline. You had something.
Wiping out medical debt, one bill at a
Yeah,
time.
let me write that. Oh, there it is. It's right there.
Yeah, right
you
there.
go.
Wiping out
I
medical
gotta say
debt.
that.
one
We're gonna
bill.
do that when we come back.
Yep. So, and it's, a lot of people are getting close to that, and that's, oh yeah, and then we're at the end of the year, so, and
Oh, you
paying
wanna
this-
talk about that? Okay, the end of the year being,
And,
what do you wanna talk about?
I don't go into that much, but just make sure that they use their funds that they have for
Okay, we'll talk
HSA
about
or
that.
FSA, so that can help out too. The HSA and FSA, because they can help with that, those funds can help with, paying for medications, paying for co-pays, you know? And, cause I remember my HSA when I had it in my work, excuse me, they just, they took it out of my, account,
Okay.
which is fine, so,
Okay.
yep. And collections,
Well, yeah.
credit card versus payment plans, with the hospital. Because credit cards, there's care access and card and various other
Credit
ones.
card versus what?
Payment plans from the
Payment.
house, from the hospital. So, we're still on Facebook, right?
Yes, we are.
Good.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we stay
Yeah.
on. Mhm.
so it's just having those, because with credit cards, you get a percentage. With payment plans, you don't.
Yeah, right, I know.
Yep, with yep, because you
Yeah,
don't
I
wanna
made
have.
that mistake with the bridal thing that I did, but I took care of that. But no, yeah, I didn't even think about that at the time. you
Yeah,
know.
interest rates.
Yeah, Yeah.
Interest is always there, and
yeah,
the interest is very expensive.
yeah,
And what people don't know or don't realize is, if they use their credit card, the people that do not pay out fully, pay it every month, is that if they're buying something for $200
yeah, you were saying,
on a credit card,
you're
and
really
then
paying.
you're paying $250 or more,
Mhm.
depending on how much you're
Right.
putting down.
Well, that was what when you said that to me, I just paid it off.
Right.
You know, so, but I did it because I didn't think about that. And I
Right.
had this card ready to do that, right? And, but one of the payments, I just paid cash, you know, I just paid
Yep.
it,
Yep,
you know.
that's good.
Yeah,
And that's what you need to do, is pay
cash as much as you can.
Because when people put their vacations on their credit cards,
Yeah,
if they don't pay it off completely, they're paying for their vacation in 6 months after their vacation.
yeah.
Or Christmas, that's the other thing.
Oh, yeah,
Christmas is coming around,
yeah, I know.
and paying for gifts that are, now is gonna be hard, because you're gonna be paying for those gifts in July.
Yeah, you know,
If you
I'm
use
so
your credit
glad I
card.
don't do that now, I don't have to do that.
So,
She's still texting?
no, it's no, so that's what you want. You don't want to do that.
No,
You don't wanna bring Christmas to July.
no. And they
So.
say Christmas in July, you know what that means.
Yes, you're still paying for Christmas, so, and it's just crazy that they do that, and a lot of people do,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
so.
I never in, I don't know how many years, even had one, a
Right.
credit card. Because I didn't use it, I just paid cash for everything.
Right, so. It's just medical day.
So welcome back. You know, during the break when we talk on Facebook Land, we just learned so much more, and some of the things that Karen wants to bring up. First of all, one of the things that is her tagline that I wanted to say before I forget is wiping out medical debt one bill at a time, and that is what she does. She has helped many, 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 many people do it. I've heard about all the stories, and you know, being that she's been a social worker for over 38, let's say, years,
Yep.
she knows the lingo really well. She knows the resources. She knows how to get you the help that you need to get them those medical debts reduced. And she's done some major reducing.
Oh, yes, and
Yeah.
and when I tell my clients, I like to yell it, advocate for you.
That's so funny. I love that. Now, first of all, you wanted to talk about, I'm going to start here, collections. Let's talk about collections for a minute,
Okay,
okay? And what you wanted to talk about with that.
well, if you're not paying your bills, you're going to go to collections, and if you, like, I have a client right now, her bill is about to go into collections. she's been fighting this for 6 months. She didn't know about me earlier, and or my business, or I would have been on deck be a lot sooner. So what I did is I talked to the company. I was like, we need to talk to the insurance company. Can you hold off until the end of the month for sending to collections, because they were gonna send her to collections that day. She goes, yeah, and she just had to make a minimal payment, and she did. And then when I called the insurance company and we were talking, the client and I were talking to the insurance company, and because what had happened was she had surgery, she went to physical therapy, and the physical therapist was not in network. But she had 3 people, she called 3 different times before she started the physical therapy, that yes, they're not in network, but yes, they will still pay for her treatments. And it'll be out of network cost. And so she would have had to pay $18 per session instead of $12 per session. And she's like, I could do that. Well, come to find out, they never paid, the insurance company never paid. And so she and I got on the phone with the insurance company and saying, this is what she's done. She talked to 3 people, oh, well, we're gonna investigate that. So, the insurance company is investigating it, but the person at the PT was kind of rude a little bit, and she didn't think I was gonna really do anything since it's been in 6 months. So when the insurance company called her and said that I was helping out, we're gonna be looking into this and everything, and they're gonna hold off on the collections, she probably thought, oh damn, she is doing something. So that's how I help you guys, and I help my patients and clients, sorry. And so she's not going to collections, and we have a month, I put it on my calendar to call this agency and insurance and see what we can do. And they'll probably pay for these 10 visits that she had.
Yeah.
They may not pay all of it, but they'll pay a portion of it.
It's all what it's, do you care? I
No.
don't care.
No.
I'm happy that they're paying a portion of it. So the other thing that you wanted to talk about is the end of the year, and actually I'm gonna do that on our next segment.
Okay.
So what I'm
Okay.
gonna do is I'm gonna go to this one here. Credit cards versus payment plans. Let's talk about those.
And when you're having a medical bill, and now there's a lot of medical credit cards that are coming out, Care Access and Heart Care, and various other other credit cards for medical care. The only difference between the credit cards and the payment plans with the hospital or with the providers is a big one, and that's interest. Because when you're making a payment plan with the doctor, the hospital, or the agency, it's gonna be without any interest. If you go with a credit card, there's gonna be any kind of interest anytime, anything from 3 to 5%. It's not a big percentage, but it's adding to your bill. Adding to your bill.
And here's the thing, you have said many times that now you're paying more for that.
Right.
But I think a lot of people don't even know that they can call the hospital and make a payment plan.
Mm-hmm.
They just think that they owe it, they get that bill, they don't open it, they don't even wanna look at it. They take one little winky at it and go, oh, I can't even look at that, and they put it to the side. They don't wanna deal with it. But so a lot of people may not know that they can do that.
They can, and they could talk about it, and even if your EOB, explanation of benefits, you get the EOB for your doctor's visit or whatever, and then you get the bill. If they don't match up, you could call the hospital or the insurance company and say, why aren't this is matching? And usually they are, a coding problem. they made a mistake in coding.
But you also mentioned that a lot of people do have two insurances.
Some
And that-
do.
Some people do, and I know that when I had two insurances, that, you know, they didn't realize it.
Mhm.
And so, even if it was $28, I'd call them up.
Right,
Say,
right.
hey, what is this bill, you know, because they didn't realize it, or they didn't, we haven't ran that, you know, or we didn't, we had a new gal in on that day. You know,
Right.
there's so many things that you, Karen, know what to do for people.
Right. Because, I mean, sometimes people have Medicare and then they have their retirement plan from their job, that they still have the insurance from them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have Medicare, if you are not working and you have Medicare, but you have insurance from retirement, Medicare is number one and the insurance from your company or former company is number two. And you give them both cards when you go and have a visit, because they will bill
Piggyback.
both of them, because they know Medicare's Part A as number one, and then the back one.
Yeah, so you get, you know, whatever they pay, the Medicare, what Medicare pays, they
Yeah.
pay, and then the other person picks up the balance. It could be the balance, it may not be the balance, but if you got a balance,
It
you gotta
usually
call,
is.
you gotta call Karen if you got
Yeah.
a balance, you know.
And call me, because I just was at an event just a few minutes ago, before I came on the air. I was at Love and Life Expo here in Mesa, and I had two people that were signing up for me, and they have these issues. So I will be calling them tomorrow to make appointments and see where I could advocate for them.
And that's
get
what you are. You know, you're not just for seniors, you do
Right.
this for everyone.
Yes,
Anyone that has any type of medical debt. And, but seniors do have a lot, I think, just because, you know,
some of
they
them
might-
do, yes.
because of the, you know, their health issues,
Mhm.
right? And, make sure right now that if you're in debt, there's no reason why you can't call Karen
Right.
and have her advocate for you.
Right, and that's what I do, and I do it for,
Couldn't wait.
and then that's true, and I enjoy doing it, and I help with medications, and I also help with Medicare applications. I can help you fill them out, and could help you with the Medicaid applications, and those are a pain in the neck, but I help with them, and because I've done them so much, I could probably do it in my sleep. And also Altex. If somebody in here is in Arizona that's trying to get the Altex application, I can help with that too. And that's a lengthy process and a lengthy application, and it's a confusing application. But I've done them before in my practice and when I was a social worker, so if you have any questions about those, please give me a call.
Her phone number is 808-253-1157. Check her out on her website. It's yourdebtfreequickly.com. And we don't want anybody to be in debt.
No.
You know the feeling that it feels like when somebody's debt is eliminated or reduced? I don't care which way.
Right.
I'm telling you, the feeling is fantastic.
It is.
It's just, such a weight off of your shoulders. Again, her phone number is 808-253-1157. Hang tight, we'll be back in just a minute. And then when we come back, we'll talk about Christmas.
Christmas and medications,
Okay, okay, right there.
because I help with medications.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. So, this is good.
Now you have to go all the way back to.
No, I go home now.
Oh, okay.
No, because it ended at 1.
Oh, okay.
Lorena,
Will she break it down?
she'll break it down and everything
nice,
like
nice,
that.
nice.
And she goes, what do I do? I just,
Yeah.
and I was just teasing with her. I knew, I was like, if you forget anything, don't forget
Oh,
that.
you know what, if that ever happens again, you know what, I just had this idea, it came to me too late, but if you ever have an iPad, first of all, there's one thing I would do is when you do go to your events, bring one with you
Right.
and show these.
Yep.
Those are credibility, they look
Oh,
at that way.
yeah.
Yes, and then the other thing is, let's say, if this ever happened to you and you have somebody that's doing that and you want to, and you're here at the same time, you could have her press, watch us live in here doing, that would have been so cool.
Yes.
I didn't even think about it.
I didn't
Darn it,
either,
I'm
so
sorry. Next time.
I don't know
If
if
it
she
ever
has a,
happens.
yeah, but.
No, but it would have
Yeah.
to be planned. It would
Yeah,
have to be.
yeah. And it would be great because, but.
Fun for you.
Yes, it was, and I enjoyed working with people, and I enjoyed doing those events, because I'm face to face with those people.
Oh, that's a wonderful thing, yeah.
And, and people, there's a lot of noise at those events, so when I'm talking to them, they may be there on the other side of the table, I walk over, I'm sorry, I just can't hear you with everybody else talking to me.
Yeah,
Or in the background.
I used to go to a lot of those when I could, because my show was on Tuesdays and Fridays,
Okay.
from 3 to 5 p.m.
Mhm.
I only had the 4 hours at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd have days that I could go and do things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when the owner made me 5 days a week, it changed, and I don't have the ability to do that. Like you, when you leave your place, you are
Yep.
leaving your business, and you can't do what you do
Yep.
because you're over here, right?
Right,
Same
right.
thing for
Well,
me.
I'm still doing my business here, cause I'm.
For me too,
Yeah.
but I lose 3 hours every day.
Yeah,
every
yep,
day.
yep.
So it's a lot.
So, yep.
And so, that's why I was telling you, if you ever are at one of those
Yes.
places and you pick up cards or whatever,
Yeah.
something that happens, I always do things for everybody that do that.
That'd
you
be
know?
great. Okay.
Yeah, do it all the time. Oh,
Yeah.
and we'll talk about that after the show.
Oh, and my earrings,
What's that?
my earrings.
Go again? Huh? So welcome back, everyone. I just realized my back drawer is open here. So welcome back, everyone. We are talking with Karen Rossner. She's the owner of KMR Medical Debt Solutions. And when we talk about the word no, that is not in her vocabulary. She will go
What?
all the way to the furthest extent to help her clients reduce their debt and their big time debt dollars that you've gotten people's debt reduced.
Oh, yes.
One of the things that you did want to talk about before we talk about Christmas and the end of the year is we want to talk about medications and why and what you can do with people for that.
I have programs, and I know of programs that can help save people money on their medicines, because some medicines are very, very expensive. Immunosuppressants medications after a transplant, cancer medicines, diabetic medicines. And I remember being on the phone with one of my clients, and he needed his medication and he just couldn't afford it, and because he lost his insurance and everything. And I called, and then we were doing a third party conference call with an agency, and they're like, yes, we can help him with his medications. He could come and pick it up tomorrow. We can't do it today. He had enough medicine for a couple of days, but we could help him, and it'll be ready tomorrow. I'm like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, Karen, I'm still on the phone. I'm like, oh, sorry. I went, yes, a little too loud in his ear.
Well, that you're all about doing that for your clients,
Yes.
and it does make you happy because what you're doing for them makes them very happy.
Well, it prevents them from getting other medical bills with medications, because I'm on medications. I had a transplant. I know how it is to have these medications and the cost of these medications.
I just want to say that there are medications that are incredibly high just for asthma.
Yes.
I know
yes.
somebody whose medication is I think it's like $600 a month, which is crazy. Who can afford that, right?
Not many people.
Not many. No, you don't want to. You don't have to. I mean, I'd rather my money for me, if you can, live off of it and have it used for
Right.
the other things.
Right.
But still, some of them are just astronomically high.
Oh, yes.
Heart medications and things like that for diabetes. And they just need so much and they can't get them. There's some people that are waiting to see how they can get it from other countries practically, and
Yes.
I know that's something that you've also mentioned before, that people shouldn't do that, because that their medication that come from other countries are not the same as potent or whatever.
Right, they may not be the same formula as you get in here
Gotta be
in
careful.
the US, and you have to be careful. And because they could add fillers and additives, just like generic. A generic and a brand name, they're the same thing, but it's probably anywhere from 5 to 15% difference in the medications. And I remember when I had my transplant, and it was like a couple of years after my transplant, a new a generic medication generic medication came out, and they're like, don't take it. And because it was an alternative, but it was putting people in rejection.
Oh, wow.
So my doctor's like, don't take it. If you need anything from the insurance company's not paying for your brand name, just let me know and we'll write off. And they finally took the medicine off the shelf.
Wow, that's scary.
Yes.
Now, before the end of the year, that you might have, you said money on the table, people might have money on the table that they don't even realize that they have.
Well,
and they wanna use it before the end of the year.
Well, the HSA and FSA, that money can be used for medical appointments, co-pays,